as possible. That's the first rule for any humorous speech. The second rule is again very crucial, and I'm sure that some will participate in the humorous speech, so this will be helpful for him, I hope. Let them laugh. See, the problem is you never know when people will laugh. When they started laughing, you don't know when to start again. This is very, very crucial. So when you start again, when people are laughing, the thumb rule is that the laugh goes like this, a burst of laughter, then it comes down. You have to judge. When it comes down at a certain level, you should start again. Never, ever wait for everyone to stop laughing and then you start. What will happen in that case? In that case, there will be a disruption. Because many people, they have stopped laughing and they will think that there is a gap. And it also depends. When you are giving this speech in a club, like here, 10-15 people, they will laugh at the same time. Within 5 seconds, they will stop. But when you are become champion in the division, you go to the district, it's a 300, 400, 800 people. There, if you have a good humor, the laughter may come in waves. So you have to be very careful that when people are laughing, when to start again. Never ever wait for everyone to stop laughing and then start again. You may not get that time. This is a very important rule. All these qualities depends to become a champion. Next is advance the topic. See, for any project, why we are giving humor? Anything, any topic which you are giving, that has got a particular purpose. So your humor should advance the topic. Stand-up comedians, clowns, they use anything. Multiple single-liners, their purpose is just to make the people laugh. They do not have any message to give to the audience. But whether it's an international speech or it's a humorous speech, your purpose is there is a particular purpose of that speech. So humor should be always used to advance the topic. So you go from one transition or one subject to another subject. It should enhance your speech objective. This is another very important rule, that appropriate use. What does it mean? Remember this. You cannot make joke or humor for a group which you do not belong to. What does it mean? If you are a husband, you can make jokes with husbands. If you are a wife, you can make jokes with wives. If you are bachelor, you can make jokes with bachelor. If you have a married man, you can make jokes with a married man. If you are a Scottish, you can make jokes with the Scot people. If you are a Polish, you can make jokes with the Polish people. But you cannot make other way around. Then it becomes not a joke, but it's an offense. And you will never win, at least in the division level, if you do that. So never ever try, which I have seen in many competitions, many winners, they make joke about their wives. How stupid his wife was. And they narrate the story, 3, 4, 5 stories where they fool their wife. You cannot become division champion in that type of speech. So always remember that the best, safest way is to make humor about yourself. I'll tell you one story, like in the crocodile story. I don't know how many of you have not heard my crocodile story. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, you can start now.
Okay. Now see, I will give you some reference of the crocodile story. Crocodile story is very simple. It has got 2 parts. So in school days, there was one guy, my friend, who anything give him the topics, he will take it to the crocodile and finishes. That is the one part. So I took that example and then I built my story that when I joined Toastmasters, I participated in the table topics. And you give me any topics, table topics, I will connect it with the Abraham Lincoln. Actually, what happened when I joined Toastmasters and started attending different meetings, I found many people are quoting 5 people. Abraham Lincoln, Mother Teresa, and then Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, and Gandhi. Go to any Toastmaster meeting, they are saying about that. Even few Toastmasters I have seen, they said, first day I came to Kuwait, I met an accident and I take a lesson from there. 2-3 people. So I told my wife that I will give a speech, humorous speech, and I will make fun of these Toastmasters. She warned me, don't do that. Because if you do this, they will hate you and you will never succeed in Toastmasters. That's a very important suggestion she gave me. So what I did, I made fun of myself. That I started participating in table topics and everything I was connecting to the Abraham Lincoln. So you got the point, like you can make a joke for which you belong to, and the safest way to make the joke is make fun of yourself. But don't portray yourself as a stupid again and again and again. That will not deliver a very good message. Plus, you have to also remember the audience. See, like some jokes are applicable for the young kids, some jokes are applicable for the older people. Now here in Toastmaster speech or Toastmaster humorous contest, if you want to win, try to correlate something with the Toastmaster, because the people who are attending, they are all Toastmasters. So some incident, if you can correlate, like in my crocodile, I correlated with the Toastmaster table topics, then the people will understand. One 83-year-old man, he was bachelor for 82 years and then finally he got married. So all his friends asked him, why you suddenly decided to marry? Is she beautiful? He said, no. Is she rich? He said, no. Then why you married her? The man said, because she can drive in the night. Now you see, this joke, here maybe few people understood. But this joke, if you tell to the teenagers, they will not understand. Because they don't know the pain of driving in the night. When the people become older, the thing they don't like is to drive in the night. But this same joke, when there are some 60 plus people are there, everybody will laugh. So it depends on the audience, the type of audience. So you have to choose a topic which people will understand. That is another appropriate use of the word. Not only the with whom you will make the joke. Personalize it. If you have heard something, if you have not seen something, somebody has told you. If you try to tell those things, it will not make impact. You have to pretend that either you have to make yourself in the character, in the story which you are saying, or tell something where you have experienced. Or maybe it is not true, but you have to portray in that way that this thing has happened in front of you. John said something, Jack did something, and then make some joke, it will not work. It is always you have to use yourself, or you have to portray it as if you have seen that particular scenario. And the most critical one is the punchline. How you deliver your punchline. There are two ways usually the people that deliver the punchline. Some people, like when it is a short one-liners, just casually they say the punchline. That's a one way of doing it, but still people will laugh. But you will never get a big laughter. But when you stop, you give a pause, and then with a conviction, you deliver that punchline, there will be a big burst of laughter. The key thing in any humorous speech is how you deliver your punchline. Because see, in a Toastmasters, it's a 5 to 7 minutes of speech. You cannot use single liners. So usually what will happen is you have a theme, and based on that theme, you will have 2, 3, 4 different experience. You have to correlate those 4. So in every time, you have to deliver those punchline. Like if you remember that Deepak Bindal speech, which I lost to him in the division. He used his mistaken identity, that someone thought he is the Harris, means the watchman of that building. Then he went somewhere where he was identified as the driver. Somebody thought that he is the driver of some guy. Fuel station. And then fuel station, and then finally he went to a shopping mall. There he met the lady again. So if you see the Deepak Bindal's, whatever I said, everything was there. Like he made it his own, not anybody's expense. And then he has got with mistaken identity different parts. And this is applicable for any speech, whether in international speech, evaluation, table topics. Practice, practice and practice. More you practice, you will be more confident and you can convince people to persuade, to inspire and definitely to make them laugh. Now here this is specifically 5 tips for winning. This is actually the first one Xavier Muthu told me. When Mohan and Xavier Muthu was there in first year when I joined, I took my icebreaker to the division level. I made fun with my name. And Xavier told me this, and he was also, I have overheard that he was telling Mohan that, see, for any humorous speech, you have to make them laugh in first 30 to 40 seconds. That is like you are giving them the license to laugh. So people will have, like if you deliver your setup, your build-up is for 4 minutes, people will lose interest. So when you deliver the punchline, they will not laugh. So it has to be in 2-3 phases, and within 30 seconds, 40 seconds, you have to say something where they will laugh. So that will set up the mood of the audience. If you wait for 2-3 minutes, it's gone. People will lose interest of your speech. So start funny. Make them laugh as early as possible in your speech. Then is exaggerate. I will give you one example about this. See, in my crocodile, I tried, I believe, in 7 or 8 occasions, like in the club, area, in the division, and I have a very strange experience. See, third time, like in the crocodile story, third time when that my schoolmate, he has been given World War II as the topics. And still, finally, he connected that with crocodile. Now in area and in the club level, I did not use that the teacher fainted. Hearing that when he connected with the crocodile, I just used 2 words. The teacher fainted, saying, Goku, oh, you did it again. This was not there in the area or in the club. But I just practiced. Every time I enhanced. And you will not believe it, when I delivered this in the division, the biggest laughter I got only in these 3 words. The teacher fainted. Hearing that. Now, we all know that this is exaggeration. But in the humor, when you add that exaggeration, the people will laugh more. Next is build characters. This is applicable for any speech, whether it's an international speech or humorous speech. Well, our retention span of our mind is very less nowadays. So if you see some speeches of the 70s and 80s, it's a monotonous. But if you see the international speech champion of the last 4-5 years, they add plenty of humors. So you build the characters. Now here I can, like my first, my crocodile speech, that schoolmate, his name was Gopu. Now what I did that whenever I was telling Gopu, I just used like this, Gopu, yes ma'am. Now these are like just to give it into the in the mind of the audience that now this is Goku is coming to the stage. And what I did is in that speech, I used to put 3 places. The teacher will be here on the podium, the Goku will be here. So each 3 occasions on that table topics, the Goku was on the same position. And when Goku is coming to the stage, I use this. So people will know now this is the Goku. So you build the characters in the podium. So people will connect that now Goku is there. And so you have to just visualize all the characters. It cannot be like a dry something speech. It is applicable for both international as well as humorous speech. This is costuming. This is dangerous. But Deepak Bindal used it very nicely. If your costume is in line with your humorous speech, then there is a possibility that it can make more laugh. And as whoever watched Deepak Bindal, even his another speech also, he used a lot of costumes and he used this very nicely. So that choice is yours. It has got 2 effects. Either it will have a good impact on the audience, but if it is not, then you may look like a clown. So you have to be very careful about whether you will use costumes or not. And the most important thing is, like the way you start the speech laughing, you have to finish your speech where people will be laughing. I will tell you the reason why. Because that is the time the judges will start giving you the numbers. Me being judge in different contests, the finishing is very important. So if you get a big laughter at the end, there is a possibility that you will get that 1 or 2 marks more from the judges to win the contest. So if you are lucky, if you use all this, so it will be, the trophy is yours, Sam. Now in short, I will give you the judges' ballot. For any humorous speech contest in Toastmasters, content is 55. Please just remember one thing here, that audience response is 15. If somebody comes and makes jokes, people goes into laughter, but if there is no value in that speech, maybe you can win in club, maybe you can win in area, but you can never win in division. I have seen some lousy speakers in the division contest, which absolutely there was no value for that speech, totally from beginning to end, but I don't know how they have gone there. But if there is no value in your speech, even if it is a humorous speech, you have no chance of winning in the division. The audience response you can see here is only 15. Speech value is 15. Effectiveness is 10. Speech development is 15. So the content of humorous speech, it is more or less same. Like in international speech, maybe it is 60. For humorous speech, it is 55. And then delivery. Exactly whatever we learned in project 5, project 6. Vocal variety, body language, gestures, that has got 30 points. Plus, I have been told many times, oh, humorous speech, you can go and crack jokes. Don't bother about English and everything. That's not correct. Because there is still a mark. It should be appropriate. And correctness is, there are 5 marks. It is important. Because finally, I am telling you from my experience of judging many contests, there is only 1 or 2 marks difference. Even in my ballot, I have found that if there are 10 speakers, you can always identify the first 5 speakers. Next 5 will automatically win, one chance, without even going to the ballot. But in the difference in those 5 speakers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is just 1 or 2 marks. So you have to be careful about that.